Hey Rauf, great to see even more work from you, so really well done. You're working really hard and we can see that, so fantastic work and keep going, it will be worth it in the end. So we had this task on writing a letter to your friend and to explain about why you resigned from your previous job and describe your new job and any other updates regarding your life. So good, well done. Looking at it generally for structure, it clearly follows the structure of a letter, which is great. You've got those conventions, and as well it seems that you have really taken on board that this is writing a letter to your friend, not writing to, say, your manager or your new boss, etc. So that's really good. So let's have a look. So, dear John, hope you're well. Good. It's been ages since we've been in touch with you. Now, it's been ages since we've been in touch, full stop, no with you. Okay, I thought you'd be happy to hear about my job change. Yeah, brilliant, well done. You must remember that I was always complaining about my job and how I felt about monotonous duties. Good, okay. So I decided to leave that company for the new one. Alright, good. Yeah, this is really good. I'm delighted to tell you. Okay, so we say something, but we tell someone. Okay, and in a letter we would normally say to tell you. Maybe look up the difference between say and tell, if it's something that you have concerns about. But here I'm delighted to tell you that my current job is much more than I desired. The word desired here doesn't sit very well, so it's much more than I wanted or thought it would be. Okay, you know it's an international company, Total, and it offers a challenging work environment, which will lead me to improve and to be competent. Okay, yeah. So you know it's an international company, Total. It offers a challenging work environment, which will maybe instead of lead me, would say will help me to improve and to be competent. Okay, it's the same position, financial analyst, as it was in the previous job, but it includes business travel, no S, business travel, which is what I've always dreamt about. Okay, so just a couple of changes in that paragraph, but well done. The next one, I think I should also let you know that I moved to the city centre near to my work. Okay, I rented a 1-bedroom apartment, which is the only option I can afford. As you know, renting prices are extremely high in the centre. Speak soon, Rauf. Good, well done. Yeah, there are a few problems here. You've got the right tone for the letter, you've used some good vocabulary, there's some great phrases in there that are not too formal, which is good. Couple of things that we picked up on, so to tell you instead of say you. Okay, and just a couple of smaller errors that we looked at throughout. But yeah, really well done, great work. Good, so now on to your essay. So about travel, let's have a look. So over the past few years, business and touristic travel, no S, business and touristic travel have grown in importance. Good, really strong opening sentence there. Experts throughout the developing and developed world have debated whether this trend is beneficial or if it brings problems to society and individuals. Good, really well done. Okay, in this essay I will analyse the pros and cons of travelling. So just that definite article in essay, the pros and cons of travelling. Well done, that's a really strong introduction, so fantastic work. On the one hand, there is ample evidence, good, nice use of ample, there is ample evidence that travelling has negative effects, with an S, on the environment and local community. Good. The central reason behind this is twofold. Good. Now, twofold has a hyphen in the middle, so two-fold. So hyphen being the small dash or line in the middle, twofold. So the central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, transport used for a journey uses or uses fossil fuels that in turn emits exhaust fumes to the air. Okay, I see where you're going with this one. So we could say, firstly, transport used for a journey relies on fossil fuels and in turn emits exhaust fumes into the air. Consequently, exhaust fumes cause air pollution, which is considered among the top 3 environmental problems with an S by the UN. Secondly, local people can be severely disrupted because of crowded streets and an increasing number of transport for serving tourists. And an increasing number of transport serving tourists. Okay, so no need for 4 there. Good, really good point, sir. And you've kept it nice and streamlined and about transport. So you're really focusing on your points here. Good. This heavy traffic and crowded streets, we might say, or overused streets, delay a flow of citizens' lives. Okay. So we're starting with this heavy traffic rather than these. And overcrowded or overused streets delay a flow of citizens' life. Be careful with this one. It's a slightly odd phrase to use. Okay, so we could say instead delay citizens, for example, so keeping it nice and short, because we know that we're talking about transport, so we would be showing that we're talking about when they are moving to work or so on. For example, recent empirical research by the Spanish government demonstrated that almost 73% of residents of Barcelona have mentioned tourists as their main problem. Good, well done, that's a fantastic example as well, and very clearly stated. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that travelling has detrimental effects. Okay, good, well done. On the other hand, despite its disadvantages, tourism benefits people by broadening their horizons and opening their minds, with an S at the end. Okay, good. With this one, we're just missing a comma. So on the other hand, despite its disadvantages, comma, tourism benefits people by broadening their horizons and opening their minds. Otherwise, it can be read slightly wrong. Okay, so make sure that comma's in there. This is largely because people discover new places, nations and cultures, which allows them to be well informed about the world. Yeah, well done. For example, good, again, putting in a nice example here. An extensive study by the UNESCO showed that since the advent of globalization, comma, people are twice as informed, instead of twice more, twice as informed about the world. About countries than before. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that travelling brings advantageous opportunities for humankind. Okay, alright, good. Instead of humankind, because that's almost a little bit too scientific here, so we might say opportunities for the public, or for the population, or for societies, for countries. Okay. To conclude, although travelling habits have negative effects on the environment and inhabitants, its positive sides cannot be overstated. It is predicted that travelling will increasingly grow in importance. Okay, well done. Now, this is a really strong piece of writing, so really very well done. What I would say for this is that you're at the point now where your writing is very clear. It's about making it concise and within the word limit. And also, now is when you can start to get a little bit more creative with some of your phrases. So, just looking here, we've got, for example, up here, and then we've got, for example, here. Is there a way that you can vary this? So, to say, for example, for instance, instead of for example, or to you could say something like, a good example of this is, okay, so you're just giving a bit more variation to some of your phrases, because your writing is great. Now it's about how else can we impress the examiner? What range of structures can you use to really sort of really to show off what you can do, because you've done all this studying. So it's best to really vary your phrases. And if you've used something once, try to use something different the next time. Just to finish off as well, I just want to answer a couple of your questions for that you sent in your email. Okay, so you said you're concerned that you write a little bit too much sometimes, and do we have any suggestions for that? The best thing really is to try and keep your sentences from becoming too long. So what we want to do is to get our points across in a concise way instead of making our sentences very long and wordy. That way we're keeping our language really good, really concise, showing that we're in control of what we're saying and that we don't have to use too many words to do it. But also we're acknowledging that we've got a word limit here and we don't want to go too far over. Also, that way, because you don't want to have lots of words over, because that would mean you'd have to do even more checking. But it will mean that it's easier when you're actually proofreading at the end if your essay is quite concise and your sentences are not too long. Okay, so it's twofold. It will help you to keep your word number down, and it will also help you to check your essay at the end. In terms of your writing level, I think your writing level is very good. Obviously you've got, you said in your essay, 2 more essays left, so you've got more room for improvement there, so that you can do some more practice. Key things to remember are, if you've already used a certain phrase or a certain piece of vocabulary once, try to vary it. Use something different. So we had an example there of phrases for example, so using something like such as or for instance. Okay, instead, just so you can show the examiner what you can do, and that will really show them that you have a good range of vocabulary. But yeah, great structures, really good use of vocabulary. I would just say just keep practicing from now until the exam. Okay, but really well done and great work sent in to us, so fantastic.